Hi everybody, Paul here from Ballistic Blood Bullets. Now this is a video a little bit different from normal and something that really is going to be great fun in going through, because we're looking at lots and lots of films, lots of great editions that have come out over the last 12 months. And the reason for this is because it is a contest entry for Film Game Junkies, and that's Chris. Chris, brilliant, absolutely fantastic. What can I say that I haven't said about Chris before? For me, he's like your best friend and your favourite uncle all rolled into one. Such a great guy. His channel is just one of those ones that is in my select position, starting, must-see, all of those things. Whenever his video flags up in my inbox, I'm there right away, checking it out. And he's just somebody you can chill with. He's just so down to earth and so knowledgeable about films, loves his movies, does out and about videos, car boot sales. It's just such a pleasure to be with him, really, like sitting on his shoulder as he goes out and about, and he takes us through the films as well. So Chris, it is a pleasure to know you, my friend, and it is an absolute pleasure to enter your contest, which is a 700 subscriptions contest, and again, absolutely well deserved, and I'm sure that you'll double that in no time at all. Absolutely no hesitation in recommending you to everybody, and it'd be no surprise at all if you double those subscriptions in no time at all. But anyway, as I say, Chris has sent us the question: what are our favourite DVD Blu-ray releases of the last 12 months? And thankfully he's not restricted us to one, and I thought this would be a good time just to do a quick sort of overview really of some great titles that I've picked up, and some of my favourites, and there's a hell of a lot. And we're looking at the tin box set of Man of Steel 3D movie. This is one that I mentioned to Chris in the comments box as one of my favourites, and absolutely wonderful stuff indeed it is. Lovely edition. And let's get into this straight away now, get looking at some of these films. Another one which is absolutely fantastic that I picked up just recently is the Zatoichi box set from Criterion, Blu-ray DVD combo of all of the movies in the original series of films that ran from the 60s into the 70s. This is just wonderful stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Really is a great set. If you've not watched the Zatoichi movies, I highly recommend doing so. Brilliant stuff. Now, what I must say straight away is that of all of the films that I'm going to show that are amongst my favourites over the last 12 months, there are two titles that stand out, and that is of course Arrow Video and Eureka's Masters of Cinema. Now these two are my favourite releasing companies to Blu-ray and DVD. They just do set the standard absolutely right up there with Criterion for releasing old classics, new films, Steelbooks, Blu-ray editions, DVDs. Brilliant stuff. So those two get a special mention over the last 12 months of bringing out definitely some of my favourite films of all time. Now, another theme as well that I particularly enjoyed over the last 12 months is my 3D movies. My 3D TV now seems to work absolutely fantastic. I think there was some bedding in that made it just seem like I just wasn't getting the best out of it. But also I think the new releases to Blu-ray of these 3D films are more orientated to the home cinema, and just some splendid films. And Man of Steel, watching that in 3D was absolutely brilliant. I must say, for home theatre viewing, the best versions, best aspect ratios are the ones that are 1:85:1, I would say. The 2:35:1's great widescreen films, but on home screens, obviously with that format, black bars top and bottom, don't really work as well for the full appreciation of 3D. So getting them released in 1:85:1 is the best way to go. and just to take us through some of my favourite films, 3D releases over the last 12 months. World War Z, what a great surprise, pleasant film that was, because it had disaster written all over it, but it turned out to be absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed that. World War Z, lovely, lovely stuff indeed. And just again moving on here, we've got, which I watched recently, Gravity in 3D, and again the special effects in this movie are absolutely fantastic, and this is a very, very nice addition. And if you haven't seen this film, very compact running time, sub 90 minutes, but it just looks absolutely awesome. Absolutely really is a fantastic, fantastic film. Great entertainment, edge of the seat stuff, and I highly recommend picking this one up. Of course, we don't need to necessarily pick up Steelbook edition. This one is also released in 3D in regular Blu-ray as well. So brilliant, brilliant stuff there. And just continuing on the 3D movie releases, Star Trek Into Darkness. This was just wonderful, wonderful stuff. Really enjoyed the first reimaging Star Trek movie from a few years back, but this was the icing on the cake, because this one worked so very, very well indeed. Benedict Cumberbatch as the bad guy in this one. Khan was brilliant. Great casting. Very good actor. Of course, most synonymous with the role of Sherlock Holmes on TV in more recent times, but this was a wonderful, wonderful addition. Star Trek Into Darkness. Really, really enjoyed that one, and it's one of those movies I could put on at any time and sit down and just get a real kick from. Now, just as I mentioned just now, watching these 3D films in the 1:85:1 format, this is a classic example of that. Pacific Rim 1:85:1 knocked my socks off, really drew me in. Brilliant, brilliant 3D effects, some of the best I've ever seen, and particularly one of the best I've watched on the home cinema. Loved the movie, great fun, and if you love your monster movies, this is just for you. And this is a great addition. Of course, it's all setting us up nicely for Godzilla that's coming out in the summer, another 3D movie that's going to be as well. Now, old school 3D. We've got Vincent Price in The House of Wax. And delighted this one's been released. These old movies, it's like Creature from the Black Lagoon, watched that in 3D as well. That was a great, great print. The old school style of 3D, there's something magical about it. It really just does make full use of those images jumping out of the screen more so than they do today, which tends to really rely on the depth of the image. But can't go wrong with this one. Vincent Price, House of Wax, wonderful, wonderful stuff indeed. Really did enjoy that. Right, let's get to the first of the Eureka titles, Masters of Cinema. This is an absolute classic film, Silent Running, and this edition is absolutely brilliant. Really is one of the best releases, Sci-Fi classic releases to the home format and Blu-ray high definition, and I really, really was glad that I picked this one up. Great example, just what can be done for transferring great films, great old films, into the modern form, and not many do it better than the masters of cinema. And speaking again of going back, really right back to the early pioneering stages of movies, back to the 20s, and that's Nosferatu, classic film, F.W. Murnau. And again, this is another great Eureka release on the Masters of Cinema label. And again, you always get this nice, crisp, clean, clear effect on the back, which is really just synonymous with how great these releases are. Nothing fancy, but always do give us a very nice image on the front. And that's Nosferatu from Masters of Cinema. Brilliant stuff indeed, as I say. And now into the Arrow goodness. And there's quite a lot here, so we're going to fly through these just to keep the time down as much as we can. And Lucio Fulci's classic, The Beyond, really after getting Zombie Flesh Eaters released also by Arrow on this Steelbook edition, to get this as well to accompany it was just really just bonus, really. Fantastic stuff. Great old school 80s action, horror, gore, zombie brilliance from Lucio Fulci. Now getting into the fun sci-fi action movies. Roddy Piper, Hell Comes to Frogtown. This and They Live, two of my favourite high gloss B-movies really. Great fun, great one-liners, and Roddy Piper's on a roll, and this is just a big fun movie. No surprise this one has sold out of print. Only 1,000 of these Blu-rays released, and with that new cover art image, had to be on the wagon to get that one as soon as possible. Love it, absolutely brilliant. Eat lead froggies. Good stuff. Now again, getting into some more old school classic sci-fi. There's not many remakes that work, but there are a few out there, and the few that are really well done, like this Invasion of the Body Snatchers, just a pleasure to have, and absolutely delighted that we get them released on Arrow Video as well. Steelbook edition of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Donald Sutherland, classic stuff. Really is a great movie. Not seen that one, I highly recommend you pick it up. More Steelbook goodness again from Arrow, and of course we're looking at Kurt Russell in one of the greats from John Carpenter, Big Trouble in Little China, and the artwork and the gloss on this Steelbook is just so glorious. This is definitely one that I could not turn down. Had to have this one. I've picked up the film in every format since formats began. It's just a film that is so big on fun, lots of action, great entertainment, and Kurt Russell is just so very cool in this role. And pleased to say that there's a comic book follow-on from this that carries on right after the movie finishes, and hopefully someone will pick that up and it will be made into a Big Trouble Little China movie sequel. Fingers crossed on that one. Okay, this is one that I picked up just the other day, and again, Arrow Video, and it's The Blind Woman's Curse, and this stars the classic Miko Kaji, and she is just perfect in this role as a woman done wrong, and swordswoman, and this one's got a tone of horror about it as well. Very much for people who like their martial arts, their classic Japanese 70s styled made movies with that tinge of horror that works so very well. I've got the DVD for this one, but knowing that Arrow were bringing out this Blu-ray edition of the film as well, no brainer, had to pick it up. Absolutely brilliant stuff. And that brings me to the climax of this video, and really my favourite of the last 12 months. I think it's also very difficult because there's so many great films here, but Life Force for me, absolutely fantastic. Wanted this Steelbook, really enjoyed the movie when it first came out. The life that has been given to this on Blu-ray for the sound and the picture is just phenomenal. Great film directed by Tobe Hooper. It is just literally brought to life again, and it is such a fantastic release of a great movie. I just could not believe how good the quality of the picture was and the magnificence of the sound. So this really is, I think, my favourite release so far of the last 12 months, and it is Life Force, and this is my entry into Chris's great contest for his 700 subscriptions. Well done, Chris. I hope this is a good video for you. Good luck to everybody that enters, and thanks everybody for watching. Take care. See you all soon. Bye for now.